Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into history and uncover stories that shaped the world we live in today. Today, we're talking about one of the most significant uprisings in the history of India, the Indian Rebellion of 1857. This wasn't just a revolt, it was a turning point in India's struggle against British colonial rule. So grab a cup of chai or coffee, sit back, and let's break it all down. To understand why the rebellion happened, we first need to understand the context. The British East India Company had been in India since the 1600s, initially for trade. But by the 1800s, they were ruling large parts of the country. How? Through a mix of military strength, clever diplomacy, and exploiting internal divisions within Indian kingdoms. Now, as the company expanded, they implemented policies that angered Indians across the board. Here are a few key issues. 1. Economic exploitation. British policies were draining India's wealth. They dismantled traditional industries like textiles and flooded the market with British goods. Farmers were forced to grow cash crops like indigo, which led to famines. 2. Land reforms. The doctrine of lapse allowed the British to annex Indian states if a ruler died without a male heir. Famous examples: Awadh and Jhansi. 3. Religious interference. The British introduced reforms that many Indians saw as an attack on their culture and religion, such as outlawing practices like sati. 4. Military discontent. Indian soldiers, or sepoys, made up most of the British Army in India. They were poorly paid, treated unfairly, and felt humiliated. These issues created a lot of resentment, setting the stage for rebellion. But the spark that came from something seemingly small but deeply symbolic. In 1857, the British introduced a new rifle, the Enfield. The cartridges were greased with animal fat, either cow, sacred to Hindus, or pig, offensive to Muslims. To load the rifle, sepoys had to bite the cartridge open. This act was seen as a direct attack on their religion. On March 29, 1857, a sepoy named Mangal Pandey in Barrackpore refused to use the cartridge and attacked his officers. He was captured and executed, but his actions lit the fuse for what was about to come. The rebellion officially began on May 10, 1857, in Meerut. Indian soldiers mutinied, killed British officers, and marched to Delhi. Here's why this was significant. They declared Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, as their leader. While Zafar was mostly a symbolic figure, his involvement gave the revolt legitimacy. From Delhi, the rebellion spread like wildfire. Major centers included: 1. Kanpur, led by Nana Sahib, the adopted son of the exiled Maratha Peshwa. 2. Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai, the warrior queen, became one of the rebellion's most iconic figures. 3. Awadh Lucknow, the region saw fierce resistance under leaders like Begum Hazrat Mahal. Peasants, zamindars, and even some princely states joined in. But not all Indians supported the rebellion. Some, like the Sikhs and the southern kingdoms, stayed loyal to the British. This division weakened the movement. The British were initially caught off guard, but they responded with brutal force. Their strategy was straightforward: crush the rebellion city by city. Let me give you a few examples. 1. Siege of Delhi. The British recaptured Delhi in September 1857 after heavy fighting. Bahadur Shah Zafar was arrested, tried, and exiled to Burma. 2. Kanpur massacre. After retaking Kanpur, the British executed thousands, including civilians, in retaliation. 3. Jhansi. The British stormed the city and killed Rani Lakshmi Bai in battle. Her bravery, however, turned her into a legend. By mid-1858, the rebellion was largely suppressed. The British used scorched earth policies and mass executions to instill fear. Villages were burned, and anyone suspected of supporting the rebels faced severe punishment. So, what changed after 1857? A lot. The rebellion marked the end of the East India Company's rule. In 1858, the British government took direct control of India. This was the beginning of the British Raj. 1. Policy changes. The British became more cautious, avoiding direct interference in religion and customs. 2. Military reforms. They increased the number of British soldiers and reduced the reliance on Indian troops. 3. Indian nationalism. While the rebellion failed, it planted the seeds of modern Indian nationalism. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru would later draw inspiration from this uprising. The Indian Rebellion of 1857 was a pivotal moment in history. It wasn't just about cartridges or policies, it was about a people fighting for their identity, culture, and freedom. Though the rebellion didn't succeed, it was a step in India's long journey toward independence. In 1947, thank you for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Until next time, keep exploring history and learning from it. Bye for now.